Okay, so the first part asks us to graph our function. We should recognize this as a rational function. So I should be able to see easily that it should have a vertical asymptote at +2. And since the degree of the numerator is equal to the degree of the denominator, it should have a horizontal asymptote at 1/1, leading coefficient of the numerator over leading coefficient of the denominator. And if I graph this, if I pick like a -5, that'd be like -2 over -7. So it should be, -2 over -7 would be over here though. That'll be a very small number. 2 over 7 is less than 1, so it should be under the asymptote. And that means the other piece is going to be over here. Again, I can see that quite clearly from my graph, or you could type that in your calculator, certainly that's fine. I can see that it's 1-to-1 since it passes a horizontal line test. So there's no need to restrict the domain. So to find the inverse algebraically, I'm going to go ahead and replace the f of x with a y, and then solve for x. So the way I'm going to do that is solve a proportion. So just cross multiply. Well, y times x minus 2 is equal to x plus 3. I'll distribute the y through. Now I'm going to get the x's all on one side, so I'm going to add 2y to this side and subtract x to that side. I can factor out a greatest common factor of x from the left-hand side to get x in one place, and then divide both sides by y minus 1. And then I'll swap out the x's and y's. And then I can say my inverse then is 2x plus 3 over x minus 1. If I were to try to graph this on the same axis, here my vertical asymptote would be at 1. So maybe about there. And my y-intercept, or my horizontal asymptote would be at 2. Again, degree 1 over degree 1, so I'm going to look at the leading coefficients. Which hopefully should make sense, right? That we've swapped, when we made the inverse, the vertical asymptote that was at 2 is now the horizontal asymptote at 2. And what was the horizontal asymptote at 1 has become the vertical asymptote at 1. So when I flip my x's and y's, these x's are getting more and more negative. So they are going to be these y coordinates. Still going to have this arm doing this, and this arm doing that. Again, you could type that in your calculator and look at the graph, but that's what you would get, is something that looks kind of like that. And that's it.